Okay, this is hot off the presses. I don't know if this news came out this morning or overnight, but I just now heard about it a couple hours ago, and I need to talk about this briefly. Now, there's been some speculation whether Toronto Blue Jays will play their home games for the 2020 season due to everything that's going on, and I'm assuming that the commissioner and all that trying to limit travels from country to country, in this case from US to Canada. So the Toronto Blue Jays will not be playing their games in Toronto. I know there's been debate on where they're going to play their games. Washington, D.C. was a choice. I think Baltimore was also a choice. I may be wrong on that, but I think Baltimore also. I know for sure Hartford, Connecticut was also a choice. But as of right now, they're going to play some of their home games across Niagara Falls, over there at Buffalo. Apparently, the Toronto Blue Jays have an affiliate in the minor leagues that's based in the city of Buffalo, which I think, in my personal opinion, makes perfect sense for the Blue Jays to play their home games in. And I think if they have a team in Hartford, I can see them split some of those games in Hartford as well. But I just want to touch on the situation that we don't have to worry about cross country traveling. This also brings up an interesting point, though, for the NHL, because you do got some Canadian teams in the NHL and some are in the playoffs, like the Calgary Flames. And it's going to make a really interesting situation where where the NHL is going to go with that route. If they decided anything yet, I know the playoffs are subject to start next week or the week after. I can't remember which week, but it's supposed to be starting up real soon. So it's going to make an interesting scenario for the NHL and the Calgary Flames and any other Canadian team that's in the playoffs this season. So I'm just really relieved that the Blue Jays are going to have an official home for the 2020 season, whereas they don't have to share a stadium with anyone or have to go through that situation, because you got to think about like you try to do one in Baltimore or DC or anything of that nature, you're not gonna get a strong. Oh, I was gonna say you're not gonna get a strong home crowd because you're not. But then again, there aren't going to be any fans at the gates anyway, so I don't think it really. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. But I'm just glad the Blue Jays, I almost called them the Raptors. It's like last 2 or 3 years I've been calling the Blue Jays the Raptors. I don't mean maybe because the Raptors are good now in the NBA. Before they gotten good, the Raptors are kind of like an afterthought in my mind. Ever since Raptors have been good, been challenging in the Eastern Conference, I've been mistakenly calling the Blue Jays the Raptors a hell of a lot. So, and also while I'm on this subject about Major League Baseball, I do want to touch on this subject as well. Fox Sports has decided that they're going to, like, I guess the games that are airing on Fox, they're going to have virtual fans there. So it'll feel like you got fans, even though you don't really have them. So I think that's a great idea because I feel like even with everything going on, if you're not going to have fans, it's always good to have a plan B to get that home field advantage feel. And if it's successful at MLB, I can see the NFL and possibly the NHL. Well, I can see the NHL first because that started before the NFL, and also NFL and college football. Assuming that they decide not to have any fans at the NFL games or the college football games this year, it can set up a situation. If you're not going to have fans there, why not have the idea of having virtual fans and see how that works out for respective stadiums? Because you got certain stadiums like on the NFL side, you got not Questfield, wherever the Seahawks are calling their field nowadays is Central League Field. Really loud there. Arrowhead is really loud. Mile High, I know it's called. What Empire Field, but we always call it Mile High Stadium. But no, those are really loud stadiums. So it's always so that's gonna be Now it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna influx the noise there. If they're on the college side, Death Valley West, the Swamp, freaking Bryant Denny, all these stadiums across the country. So I'm good with the idea of virtual fans if you're not gonna have fans there. As far as the Blue Jays, like I said, I'm really happy that they got them at home. They can actually play some of their home games, so because it wouldn't be fair to them if they can't have a home. They got to play all their games on the road. It would not be fair. So way to keep it fair, MLB. Good choice.